Nikki Jalbala.
Hey, it's Nikki from the Washington Post. Just generally, what was Ron's message to you guys after practice
Are you talking about today or yesterday? Or the other day?
today?
Today.
Today.
Yeah, Coach Rivera was just he was reiterating the importance of practicing hard every day. That you can't take any days off if you expect to make it to a Super Bowl. And he talked about the expectation for this team to make it to the Super Bowl in his time here, and that is our goal, is to make it to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, and that is our ultimate goal. And in order to do that, we have to play hard every single play, fix all of our mistakes, and just continue to push forward that way.
And then on Thursday, when he told you guys about his diagnosis, what was that like, and what was your reaction?
Yeah, obviously that came as a shock to me. It was something that he felt that it was the right thing to do to let us know before it got out to the media, and we appreciated that we were able to hear that information and kind of analyze that on our own, before we had to hear it from the media, and that allowed us to, figure out what that would mean for the team. And he was able to explain everything that would happen. That it is a situation that should be able to be handled, and that we shouldn't have anything to worry about. And we're able to push on as a team, and obviously we will be praying for him and have him in our thoughts as he goes and gets treatment for that.
Hey Chase, John Kine, ESPN. What were the conversations like among the players afterward? You talked about shock. Was it mostly that, and what were the tones of the conversations like with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say it was some shock there. None of us had any idea that was happening. And I think all of us are just trying to stand together for him, and as a team, being able to push forward, and just move on as a team, with him as our leader, continuing forward. He's still going to be here. He's still going to be able to be leading our team, and we fully believe that.
So given the conversations Thursday night, was it nice to kind of feel normal today and have them kind of chew you guys out a little bit there at the end?
Absolutely. It you never like being chewed out, out on the field, but that just shows the passion that Coach Rivera has, and we really greatly appreciate that. And we know that his expectation is to win here in Washington, and that's exactly what we all want as players. And we know that no matter what's happening with his health, that is what he wants, and he's going to continue to push for that each and every day.
Thank you.
Hey Chase, Ben Stanley with The Athletic, good to see you. Just curious, overall practice, since you guys have been together in the last few days in particular, how has camp been for you, the tone, the tenor of it relative to the ones you've experienced before?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with COVID, everything's a little different, but the basics are the same. We're still going out there. We're still grinding as a team. We're still learning as a team. We're both sides of the ball. We're learning a new offense, new defense. So there's obviously some growing pains with that. But there's a lot of similarities as well that have allowed us to, just take the new offense in stride as well, and be able to continue to improve the things that we know and learn the new things that we didn't know about this offense. So there's definitely been, like I said, some growing pains, but I think that we've made a lot of progress in these last couple weeks.
And then someone said on the offensive line that the cohesion is so important for you guys to kind of, be able to interact with each other, kind of know where you're each going to be. The two spots to your left are still kind of unclear right now. A couple guys haven't been practicing, and you've had this whole crazy offseason. So what's been the challenge, or what do you foresee as the challenge moving forward without kind of even knowing what that left side of the line is going to be like?
I mean, there's always a little bit of a challenge when you have guys rotating, but that's an expectation as an offensive line that there's going to be guys rotating in and out. You know, there's 5 of us out there on the field at any time, and so there's more than likely will be times when other guys have to come step in, and that's just something that we prepare for as an offensive line. We're constantly rotating, so that we get all sorts of different groups out there, so we are ready to play with whoever is out there on the field at the time. And you know, we've got great options on the left there. You know, we've got guys that have a lot of experience over there, and you know, it's just when it comes down to it, it's just going to be who's playing best at that time to who's going to be stepping out there on the field on Sundays.
Matt, are you on?
Nah, he's on a call still.
All right, Pete Haley. Let's go to Rhiannon.
Hey Chase, it's good to see you. I hope that you got a chance to do your woodworking during COVID or something along those lines. But it's good to see you though. Just in terms of the offensive line, one of the things I asked Ron was about evaluating guys when they're not out there and they haven't had some reps to be Charles, one of the players that comes to mind. You're out there. You've been in this position before. How do you evaluate what the guy's doing when you can't see him out there necessarily, or like when a guy's out there and there's supposed to be other people in the competition? What are you looking for as a member of the offensive line for that, like in terms of someone coming along, basically?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, their understanding of the offense, I think, is the most important thing. The first thing, you know, if you don't understand the offense, you don't know where to go on any given play. You can't do much out there. So making sure that everyone understands the offense is the first and foremost thing, and that's something that fortunately we have been able to be working on, even through our OTA period, where through Zoom we were able to be doing those Zoom meetings and learning and installing plays, and that allowed us to get more comfortable with the offense. Obviously it's not the same thing until you're out there with pads on and, you know, with a defense across from you, but it was the first step in learning this new offense, and I think we're all doing a great job of learning the plays, and beyond that, it starts to be all about playing fast with the offense that you now know, and that's the step that I believe a lot of us are on, is being so comfortable with the offense that we're able to go out there and play fast and understand what the defense is giving us each play, and be able to adjust to that and play at 100 miles an hour and give great hustle and play through the whistle.
Does it make your job any more difficult? One of the things with offensive line, as you know, is just the continuity. It's like knowing the non-verbal things that a guy is doing so that you're kind of aware of what's happening around you. Is it difficult for you when you have a rotation kind of happening? Because obviously Wes Switzer's not out there, but when he gets back, it's going to be Wes Martin, Wes Switzer, and they're different. Does it make it difficult for you when you're playing in a situation like that at all?
It can be a difficult situation, but like I mentioned earlier, it is something that we do practice. You know, even with Wes Schweitzer not out there, we were able to get some reps before he got out, and being able to adjust to different players very quickly is something that we need to be able to do as a player. Because there's gonna be some rotations during a season, and if you can't adjust to that, then the whole group cannot work as one. So we need to be able to quickly adjust to one another, and obviously that comes through reps that we will be able to get with one another in the coming weeks, and get ready to go for the Eagles.
Thank you, Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Chase, let's start from the Washington Post. Good to see you. I was wondering when Ron talked to you the other day and told you about his diagnosis. Where was this? Was this before or after the walkthrough? Was it where was the physical place that the meeting was, and then how did he kind of begin his remarks when he told you?
Yeah, so that all took place after our walkthrough on Thursday evening in the bubble. He he called us all up when we were done and just let us know that he had some tough news, and he just went ahead and said it as it was, let us know exactly his diagnosis, how the treatment's going to go for him, and what that means as a football team. And I mean, he was a pretty straight shooter with it, so we were able to understand what's going on. There was no hiding it. He just gave it to us straight.
Do you see a moment now for this team? Like this is something very personal he shared with you, and you're going to go through with him. Is that do something for this group? I mean, is that kind of what you're building here?
Yeah, I think so. When a coach opens up his personal life to you, it allows you to get to know him better as a human being. Obviously, this is not a good circumstance by any means, but it shows you who he is as a coach and as a person. He wants us to know him fully and understand him as both a person and a coach, and that allows us to get to know him better and to respect him even more, and see him more and more as our leader, and someone that we want to go out there on that field with.
Hey, Michael Phillips here. How's your relationship with Dwayne evolved here in year 2, and how have you seen him make strides in his game?
Yeah, I think my relationship with Dwayne has definitely grown. He's in his second year now. He's becoming a great veteran out there. He's no longer in his rookie year, so he's grown up a lot. Both in his understanding of defenses, understanding of our offense, but also just as a leader as well. He's doing a good job commanding the huddle this year, and making sure guys are where they need to be in formations and on plays, and that just allows the whole functionality of the offense to be very smooth when he's able to be a great leader out there on the field, and I think he's taken huge strides in that this year.
Nice. So I wanted to ask you about Alex too, and just how remarkable is it to see him out there with you guys, knowing what he went through?
It truly is remarkable. The first time we saw him out there in that 9-on-9 drill, I think everyone was pretty amazed. We had all hoped that he'd be able to get back to where he is now, and continue to push forward as well. But it was a tough situation for such a long time for him, and he's worked so hard to get where he is right now, and we respect him so much for what he has done, and are just so happy for where he is now, and excited to see him back there out on the field.
Hey Chase, you mentioned the need to be adaptable as offensive linemen cycle through. You guys have already obviously started bringing in some players already because of COVID, because of obviously the way the NFL is next man up. Do you feel like the importance of adaptability is even more this year?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say how COVID will affect that once we're actually into games. Obviously, rules are changing with that every day, but I think it definitely could end up being a situation where we need to be more ready to adapt to those type of situations this year. There's obviously the great risk of guys getting put on the COVID list and missing games or practice, whatever it may be, and that will just make it that much harder, and we'll have to be ready to go with whoever we have available. Just like I said, that's something that we practice right now by rotating guys in and out during our team and during our individual. We're ready to go with whoever we have out there.
And Ron said in no uncertain terms that the cohesion between the center and the left guard, whoever it is, needs to get better. What does that look like? What are the things that you're looking for when you say, okay, the center and the left guard are working better?
Yeah, I think in order to have cohesion, between two positions next to each other like that, we need to know where each other are going to be on each play, and every guard, every center, we set a little different. We get put in a different spot on different plays, and as a center, I need to know where my guard is going to be set up at when the defense is coming for a bull rush, or whether that's a twist or a stunt, whatever it may be. I need to know where that guard's going to be, and depending on the person, that can be in a little bit different spot. And those are the type of adjustments that you just need to get reps with one another, and that's the importance of rotating guys during all these team periods that we have. Is that allows us to be prepared for that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey Chase, it's Chris Russell from SI.com and 106.7 The Fan. Just curious, as you enter this final year of your contract, where mentally you're at, does that motivate you? Does that sit on your mind? Do you think about it at all? And especially considering that they drafted a couple of interior offensive line guys over the last 2 years.
Going into my final year of my contract, I look at it as the same as every other year. I'm going out there. I'm going to play to the best of my ability and prepare the most I possibly can, just like I have every other year, and just continue to do what I have been doing, and that is, prepping as much as I can before, and then playing as hard as I possibly can in practice and in games.
Hey Chase, sorry if you were asked this because I was away, but what have you noticed about Ron's ability to kind of lead with so much that's gone on with the franchise, name change, his diagnosis, and kind of maybe that consistency that he has?
Yeah, personally, I've noticed how much Coach Rivera has had to take on during all of this, and Coach Rivera always says that he has broad shoulders and he can take it. Whether that's talking about all these non-football things going on a daily basis, or whether that's things within the team. He's our leader, and he's our head. He's willing to take on all those responsibilities and allow us to focus on what's important as players, and that's preparing and playing the game of football.
Is that kind of what this franchise needed?
I mean, I can't speak necessarily to what the franchise needed, but I know that what Coach Rivera is doing from a player's standpoint is it's great for us. It allows us to focus on what we need to focus in order to make sure this team is headed in the right direction.